Hello, and thank you so much for joining me here on another podcast session for Cosmic Convos. We're going to be discussing past lives and future lives in this one. If you ever have a topic that you would like me to discuss or cover, definitely feel free to use the email address in the lower right-hand corner and shoot me an email with whatever it is that you want to talk about, and we might just talk about it. So, past lives is going to be the first part that we're going to look into, and then we'll lead into future lives. A lot of times when I'm doing readings, people want to know about their past lives because they feel like there's a lot of things occurring in their current life that might be better explained if it had happened in the past life and carried over into this one. Sometimes that's true, sometimes it's not. Sometimes we have links that show up in this life, and sometimes they do follow us from past lives. So, one of the things that I will do is called a past life regression reading. You can also do this on your own. Sometimes you can go really deep with it, sometimes you can't. It just kind of depends on who you are, but they're called past life regression meditations. And what this is usually a guided meditation or someone sitting down with you and taking you back to a time in your past life so you can remember things. I want to give off a couple pointers more so than anything on what to do and how to do this kind of work. A lot of times we believe that if we just dive into the past life, it'll give us the answers we're looking for and it'll solve our problems and it's a good solution to do that. But there's really, truly some key things that you're going to need to do when diving into your past lives if you're working on your current life, trying to heal things, trying to change things. First thing is intention. When you're going into your past life, one of the first things you want to create is the intention of why are you going into that past life? What is it that you want to see or experience? Typically, I advise people to link this to whatever problem they're having in their current life. For instance, if you have a really difficult time in your love life, which many of us do, and you believe that it's because of your past life that it's creating this difficult time for you now in love, I would recommend going into your meditation, going into that past life with the intention of, I want to see the lifetime and the reason why in that lifetime I struggle with love or I have a difficult time with love. And that's creating the intention. So you're not just going into a past life just to see one. For some of you, it's an adventure and you just want to know about it, and that's totally fine. But a lot of us usually want to dive into a past life because we're trying to change something in this life. So the first thing is creating that intention. The second thing that you're going to want to do is once you have the intention and you enter into that past life, try really as much as you can to pay attention to all the little details. Try not to get overwhelmed by the experience or judge yourself while you're having the experience. Typically, it's the judgments that we place while we're in the past life that prevent us from truly learning and understanding what happened in that past life. And what I mean by this is if you see yourself as a different race, a different gender, a different color, a different social status, even a different value system, a lot of times you can feel the kind of person that you were. It's not all going to be visual, and you can feel like you are very much a different person, which most of us are. So as that information comes into you, don't judge it. Don't think maybe I'm imagining this, maybe I'm creating this. Oftentimes you will find that the things that you're most interested and drawn to in this life, it's because you had a past life. So if you have a fascination with witches and you go into a past life and you see that you are a witch, don't dismiss that and think, well, I probably created this past life because I like witches. No, you're probably drawn to witches in your current life because that's who you were in a past life. So don't judge yourself. Don't judge the experience that you're having. And when I say pay attention to the details, this is paying attention to the people around me, paying attention to the time. Is it Renaissance? Is it in the village? Is it country? Is it, something happy? Do I feel excited? Do I feel good? Am I smiling? Do I feel like I like being where I'm at? It's paying attention to those details that we often forget, but can be extremely revealing when we're putting the full experience together and learning from it. So that's the second thing, is don't judge yourself with the details that come in, but do pay attention to those details. And the third thing, and I think this is probably the most important thing, if we're going into a past life to heal something and we're re experiencing the situation in which it started, so we've laid down the proper intention and we're actually being shown this is the moment in my soul universal life where I began to have love problems. And let's say I'm watching myself get divorced or get left behind or cheated on in this past life, and it recreated issues in this current life. Now that I understand the source of it, and once you grasp the understanding of this is what it is, this is what is creating the difficulties in my life right now, you're going to take that experience, and before you leave it, you're going to reshape the experience. And this is how you begin to heal that experience. So let's use the example of I'm troubled with love. I go into a past life and I see that I'm being cheated on. And this completely destroys my trust. It destroys my self esteem. It makes me attracted to people who cheat on me all the time. And it's because I can't quite get over the experience of being cheated on, and I'm always trying to heal it. In that past life, when it originally began, the initial time it started, I'm going to reshape my past self as being grateful that this person left me, because now I feel free, because now I have more confidence. I can do more things because I'm not with someone that doesn't love me. I'm going to reshape that experience. And this is something we'll probably talk about in a future episode, of being able to jump timelines. This is a part of timeline jumping. You don't just jump timelines to the future, you also jump timelines to the past. And you can change the past, and it will affect your current reality and situation. Me personally, I have done this multiple times where I go into a past life and I've chosen to reshape the reality of when an experience happened to me so that I would come out of it in a more positive way. It's the same concept as going within yourself and healing your inner child from all those experiences that they had while growing up, and it recreates your reality as an adult. So, this is the same concept, but we're doing it on a grand scheme where you're going into different lifetimes rather than this current lifetime. And as I reshape that reality, I'm telling myself that I'm happy, that I'm successful, that I find new love, and that my heart is open and I learned how to trust. I'm seeing and visualizing myself and the actions after that experience, being happy, trusting people, healing, recovering from the loss of feeling cheated on, neglected, abandoned. I'm seeing and watching my past life self recover and heal from this experience. So those are the top three things that I want everyone to focus on doing when you're going into a past life, not just to be curious of what it was, but to actually change the course of events that heal this current life. The second thing I want to talk about is the future life. And this one's going to be a little shorter, because the same way that we can reshape the past life, we can shape the future life. There is no boundary that prevents you from going into a meditative state or a reading and accessing your future life and understanding where does that life take you based on the decisions you're making. This is also called, or known better as, an Akashic record reading oftentimes, where you can actually look at your different records that lead into the future. This is something that I encourage a lot of people to do. Don't just work on your past life, also work on your future life. See where your future self is and begin to redefine and shape that future self and the direction you actually want it to go. So in the future, if you see yourself still showing up hurt, abandoned, wounded, start to reshape the future. See new opportunities coming in, new relationships coming in, new advantages, money, abundance. You can reshape the future just like you can reshape the past. Okay. So, this is Cosmic Cassie. Thanks so much for listening to this podcast on past and future lives. I will see you guys in the future. Please stay tuned. I do a podcast every Thursday, and I also do a channeled message every Friday. If you want a personal reading with me, check out my website, cosmiccassie.com, and I have different readings there that you can look into. If you want a specialty reading that you don't see available there, reach out to me directly and we can discuss that. Otherwise, have a great one. And again, thanks so much for tuning in. Please make sure you like and subscribe to this. Bye.